Ever wondered how Negan Smith, the famed leader of the Saviors, came to be? Dive into the world of The Walking Dead and meet Negan, a man who's as complex as he is ruthless. Known for his charisma, cunning, and sheer force of will, Negan stands tall as the iron-fisted leader of the Saviors. But how did he rise to such heights? What's the tale behind the man, the myth, the legend? Join us as we unravel the mystery of Negan's rise to power. Before the Walkers roamed the earth, Negan Smith was just an ordinary man. His life was as normal as it could get, filled with the hustle and bustle of everyday existence. He was a high school gym teacher, a job that was about inspiring young minds and bodies to reach their full potential. A man known for his charm, charisma, and a sense of humor that could light up any room. Negan was a man who believed in the power of sport, the way it could shape character, build resilience, and instill a sense of fair play. He was the coach who would be the first to arrive and the last to leave, always there for his students, pushing them to exceed their limits, not just on the field, but in life. But amid his dedication to his job, Negan was also a loving husband to his wife, Lucille. Their bond was strong, a testament to their shared history and the love they had for each other. However, their blissful life was marred by a devastating blow. Lucille was diagnosed with a terminal illness. The world they knew, the life they had built, was shaken to its core. Negan, the man who was once the beacon of strength and resilience, found himself powerless against the cruel hand of fate. He stood by Lucille's side, offering comfort and support, watching the woman he loved wither away before his eyes. It was a heart-wrenching period, a test of endurance that no one should ever have to face. Yet, even in those darkest of times, they found moments of joy, cherishing the time they had left together. Negan, with his unwavering love for Lucille, was the rock she leaned on, the beacon of hope in their world that was falling apart. But as they were grappling with this harsh reality, another calamity was about to strike. A storm was brewing on the horizon, one that would change the world as they knew it. His world was about to take a dark turn as the apocalypse loomed. As society crumbled, Negan's ruthless survival instinct began to surface. In the early days of the apocalypse, Negan Smith, the same man who once taught high school gym, found himself on the front lines of humanity's struggle for survival. The world he knew was gone, replaced by a dystopian nightmare where the dead walked and the living were just as dangerous. Negan's transformation didn't happen overnight. It was a slow, painful process, driven by loss, hardship, and the harsh realities of a world gone mad. He had to adapt, to change, to become something more or less than human. To survive, he had to become ruthless, and he did. But Negan was not alone in his struggle. Others, too, were fighting to survive, and in them, Negan saw potential. He saw strength. He saw a means to survive. He saw the Saviors. The formation of the Saviors was not just an act of self-preservation, but a philosophy, a way of life. Negan believed that in this new world, the strong must lead, the weak must follow, and those who refused either were a threat to survival. This philosophy, as brutal as it was, kept the Saviors alive. It gave them a purpose, a reason to fight, to survive. But Negan was not content with mere survival. He wanted more. He wanted control, power. He wanted to shape the world in his image, to create a society where the fittest survived and the weak served. Under Negan's leadership, the Saviors grew, expanding their influence, their power. They took what they needed, from whom they needed, by any means necessary. They ruled by fear, by force, by the simple, brutal logic of survival of the fittest. The man who once taught high school gym was now teaching survival in a world gone mad. And in this mad world, the lesson was clear. Only the strong survive. With a baseball bat in hand and a leather jacket on his back, Negan was set to make his mark. In the midst of chaos and lawlessness, Negan Smith emerged as a beacon of order, or so it seemed. His rise to power wasn't overnight, no. It was a meticulous climb, a blend of charisma, ruthlessness, and an uncanny ability to understand the human psyche. His weapon of choice? A baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, which he affectionately named Lucille. She was more than just a tool for survival. Lucille was a symbol of power, of fear, and of unyielding authority. Negan didn't just survive the apocalypse, he thrived in it. He recognized that in a world gone mad, power wasn't just about strength or numbers, but about control. And so he established the Saviors, a group founded on the principle of order through fear. Under Negan's rule, they were no longer just survivors, they were the saviors. But Negan's reign wasn't without its structure. He established a hierarchy within the saviors, a system that was as much about rewarding loyalty as it was about maintaining control. The more you gave to Negan, the more you received in return. This was the law of the saviors, and Negan was its enforcer. Yet Negan's rise to power wasn't just about fear and control, it was about survival. He understood that in this new world, to survive was to adapt. And so, he did. From every life taken, every community subjugated, every enemy vanquished, Negan was adapting, growing stronger, and solidifying his rule. Lucille, his constant companion, became an extension of his power, a symbol of his rule. She was an instrument of fear, a reminder of the grim reality of their world. With Lucille in hand, Negan wasn't just a man. He was a force of nature, as unpredictable and as unforgiving as the world they lived in. Negan was now the undisputed leader of the saviors, ruling with an iron fist. And in this world, where the dead walked and the living feared, Negan's rule was absolute. Beneath his fearsome exterior, Negan formed unlikely connections. In the savage world of The Walking Dead, Negan found solace in the most unexpected of places. Among the chaos and the brutality, his relationships with Carl Grimes' dog and Judith Grimes revealed a softer, more human side to this hardened character. Let's begin with Carl Grimes, the young, one-eyed survivor who never shied away from a challenge. Despite their initial conflict, a bond grew between Carl and Negan, one that was built on respect and, oddly enough, mutual understanding. Negan saw in Carl a reflection of his own resilience and courage. This connection was so profound that even in the face of Carl's untimely demise, Negan expressed grief and regret, a sentiment rarely seen from this otherwise stoic leader. Then there was Dog, the loyal canine companion who roamed the post-apocalyptic world alongside our survivors. Despite Negan's tough exterior, he shared a special bond with this four-legged friend. Their relationship demonstrated Negan's capacity for care and loyalty, traits that were often overshadowed by his ruthless survival tactics. Lastly, we have Judith Grimes, the young girl who held no memory of the world before the dead. Their relationship was one of the most surprising, as Negan acted as a mentor and friend to Judith. He taught her survival skills, shared stories of the old world, and even showed her moments of genuine affection. Their bond indicated that beneath Negan's tough exterior was a man capable of kindness and perhaps redemption. These unexpected relationships were not just plot twists, they were key in showing us a different side of Negan. They revealed a man who, despite his brutal methods, was also capable of forming deep, meaningful connections. They showed us the complexity of his character, and that even in the darkest of times, he could find light in the most unlikely of places. Even in a world filled with death, Negan found room for unexpected friendships. From high school teacher to feared leader, Negan Smith's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. In a world turned upside down, Negan's transformation was a story of survival, resilience, and power. Once a man who taught high school students, he found himself leading the Saviors, a group of survivors who believed in his vision. His charisma and iron-fisted rule were his tools, carving out a place of authority in a world gone mad. Yet Negan was not just a leader, but also a complex individual. He harbored unexpected bonds, like his love for Carl Grimes, the son of his arch-nemesis Rick. His actions were paradoxical, saving Judith Grimes and Dog, showing a softer side to his otherwise hardened exterior. His transformation, although steeped in violence and fear, was driven by a need to survive, to protect, and to lead. He was a man who adapted to his circumstances, using his charisma, intelligence, and strength to command respect and loyalty from his followers. His rule, though brutal, brought order in a world where chaos reigned. And that, my friends, is the tale of how Negan Smith, a man once ordinary, became the leader of the Saviors. A tale of a man who rose from the ashes of the old world and carved out a new one in his image.